Down in the description below, I have a link to my new third channel, Realm of Geekdom, where I'm going to be uploading all of my classic podcasts, along with new episodes coming out very soon, where I'm going to have some crazy interviews, stuff that I promise you're not expecting. Over there at Realm of Geekdom, the link is down below. Give me a subscription, check out some of the shows we have on there, and there's tons more to come on that channel. Now, let's get to the video. It's been a couple weeks since I've dropped one of these. Been busy with other stuff. Content is still flowing, but I wanted to get back to doing these speakdoms. And today's topic is going to be one that is not going to register for everyone. I don't think everyone's going to really understand, okay? So I'm telling you now that some of you are not going to get it, and I know why. And that's not disrespect. It's more so that it's a little bit of a controversial topic, and it has to do with, well, okay. I'll just start by saying this, okay? Consider this. Consider this for a minute. Every day, I go to social media, specifically Twitter, and I roll my eyes because I see people on there constantly fighting over things that don't matter. And I'm not just talking about like anime fans or nerd fans. I mean, just there are constant battles, back and forth flame wars on the internet all day, every day. And some of the flame wars are over very mundane things. Other ones they seem like they're for actual good stuff. Like they seem like they're for important things. But when you look beneath the surface, are they really? So consider this. Just humor me, and I want y'all to really think about this. I want you to really, really think. Whether you are a liberal or a conservative, whether you are a Democrat or a Republican, whether you love Trump, love Biden, hate both of them, I want you to think about this for a minute. What if the things that we're fighting over on the internet or even in real life, what if all of this is done to distract us? What if in reality neither side, and when I say neither side, I don't mean necessarily the policy or the issues or whatever. And yes, this is a little bit political. This is going to be a little political. Not too much, a little bit. Obviously, conservatives and liberals have different perspectives on how the world works, right? And they have different points of view. And I've thought a lot about this. You know, there are ideas that I have that lean left and that lean right. I have friends of mine from all over the aisle. I have buddies of mine who are liberal. I have friends of mine who are conservative. And we have, you know, because we're real friends, we have actual thought-provoking discussions in real life and don't just call each other names. But you go online, you see Republicans or conservatives calling them libtards. Then you've got the liberals calling conservatives all racist, people who are behind the times. And it's just this labeling. And I've talked before about why I don't like labels. I've talked about this a long time ago. And we've had discussions, me and my friends, about different issues. And I do find myself agreeing with both sides on certain things and disagreeing. And I'd like to think that most people online or most people in the world, well, and this is actually not true because I've learned that 50% of the human race is really, really dumb. And the other 50% are somewhat intelligent, but there's people dumber than the halfway point. You understand? But the thing is about life is I consider myself an abstract thinker. Okay, now what is an abstract thinker? An abstract thinker is somebody who doesn't get suckered into things that don't matter, who doesn't like picking a side or picking labels because I prefer to just do me. So when I see a conservative and a liberal arguing, right, I sometimes will agree with one or the other or disagree with both. However, things then get out of hand when it becomes name calling. And there was a time in society where we could have mature adult discussions and actually learn from each other. And understand the different points of view. And I think mature people really can do this. There was a there's a debate on YouTube between Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks and Ben Shapiro. Anna's a liberal, Shapiro's the conservative. Everybody knows this, and they had a very interesting debate that was respectful. But I feel like people of lower intellect don't have these kinds of debates. Instead, they just name call each other. They insult each other. And you're not going to get anywhere with that. If you're trying to tell somebody else your perspective, if you're trying to teach somebody else and get them to understand why you think that your method of life works, calling them a name is just not going to do it. Tough love can work for some people if you get to know them a certain way, but saying that, labeling somebody, oh, well, you support Trump, so you're evil, or, oh, you support Biden, so you're evil, which I've seen on both sides, yo, is such a low intellect, very narrow-minded black or white mentality. And I feel like the more that we are on this planet and the more that we are subjected to programming, the more we go in this direction. And it's not a good way to go. Consider this. Have you ever thought that maybe social media, Facebook, Twitter, have you ever thought that maybe these algorithms are in place to control your state of mind? Have you ever thought that these debates and these arguments, while I do think they need to happen respectfully, but have you ever thought that maybe these are there just to have us poor folks, us non-super wealthy people, fighting amongst ourselves while the wealthy bend us over and take our money? Now, I'm sure some of you are saying, damn, Danny, that sounds like you're talking like a liberal now. I thought you said don't hate on rich folks. I'm not hating on rich folks. There's nothing wrong with somebody who's wealthy who worked their way to get it. However, power and money do corrupt, and certain people at the top of the food chain are absolutely in control. And they absolutely, from what I've gathered being on this planet and learning about people, there's absolutely algorithms and things in place to get us to squabble with each other while others end up making money from our squabbles, whether it be social media advertising or even Google ads. I make my money on Google ads. Or whether it be keeping us distracted while they pass laws that take away our human rights or make us less free. This has been going on now for many, many, many years. Have you ever thought that maybe that's what's going on? And if you, before you say, Danny, you're a conspirazoid, this is not really a conspiracy anymore. There's been documents that have come out about this. There have been books written about how to mind control people. Have you ever thought that social media is a form of mind control? Have you ever noticed that people are always on their phones? Have you ever noticed that these sites, Facebook, Twitter, even Reddit, have you ever noticed that these websites are structured in a way to make you addicted? Like, have you ever thought about this? Have you ever sat there and said, man, I sure do like it when I drop a post and get a lot of likes, even though those likes have absolutely nothing to do with anything tangible in the real world. And there's people out there, and I've been a victim of this, who will harass and attack others for Twitter likes. They're not even making money, dude. They're not even feeding their families. They're the ones wasting their time. And I just look at them and I pity them because they're over here trying to disrespect others and getting likes and retweets, and they think that that actually means something when it doesn't mean anything. It gives them a dopamine hit. Don't you think that there's psychologists and psychotherapists that work for these companies that know exactly how to manipulate people to keep them on the platform? You drop a post on Twitter and it goes viral, you're going to want to check it every day because you're like, wow, I'm so popular. It gives you this false idea that you are popular, and it gives you this false notion that you have a bunch of friends when you don't. People who like your stuff, and when I say like, I mean literally hit the like button and, share it. That does not mean they like you as a person. That does not mean they would ever, give you money. It doesn't mean that when you're going through a tough time with your spouse or you get broken up with, are those people going to be there for you? Are they actually going to be your real friends? The answer is no. They might give you a little pep talk on social media, but how tangible is that in the real world? Consider that. This is not one of those us against them type of videos. And this is not like a tin foil hat thing, but there are, and I've talked to a lot of people who are experts on the mind about this. There are certain things, certain aspects of the internet that are meant to keep you angry, meant to keep you upset, meant to keep you volatile and hostile. And I know because I've succumbed to this, and so have many of you in the past. I know you have. You know you have. Sit down and think about it. Have you ever gotten mad over something you saw on the internet and cut a rant or said something, and then later on been like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have said all that. Maybe I made a mistake in even giving this attention. That's been my biggest mistake, is giving attention to people who don't deserve it and to things that don't deserve my time. I've made that mistake before, yo. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But consider that and think that maybe instead of it being liberal versus conservative, red versus blue, Republican versus Democrat, some of you out there listening to this are very, very right-winged, and you have your opinion like, oh, all the liberals are bad. Well, you're wrong. You are wrong, because I have friends who are liberals who are very good people. There are bad ones. There are ones that feed off of this cancel culture bullshit, but most liberals outside the internet are genuinely good people who just want the world to be better. That doesn't make you a bad person. They might go about it in a way you disagree with, but it's still there. Same thing with Republicans. This idea that conservatives are stuck in the past. I mean, that may be true for some, but there are progressive conservatives who think that the world needs to be changed, just that they feel they need to be changed in a different way. So if we sit here and we listen to each other talk, and we really, really iron out our opinions and our thought process on what works for us, at the end of the day, what you'll discover is that the other person might not be all that different from you. Not only are they caught up in this social media mind control, because that's literally what it is, but they also want the best for people. The reality is that most people are at least lawfully good, albeit greedy, for one way or another. And some use the system in a positive way and some don't. But think about that next time that you criticize someone over the internet that you don't know and you're not friends with. Is this person really bad? Or are they just sick? Is this person really bad, or are they just addicted to social media, to this sort of like the movie The Matrix? You know what I mean? They're stuck in the system, And one of the most healthiest things that I have done in the past year is get away from Twitter. There are times when I go in there and I see fights going on and I have an opinion about anime or whatever. I don't really go political on Twitter. I just don't say anything. I used to get involved. I don't say anything because what's it going to accomplish? It's going to accomplish me wasting hours responding to people that don't even deserve to be responded to because they're being dicks to me or to whomever, to other people. And the problem is that when they behave in this maladaptive way, the truth is most of the time it's not even their fault. They have been ensnared by this addicting internet. And because they are anonymous and they can't get punched in the mouth, they can say whatever they want about you. They can call you every name in the book and they know nothing will happen to them. It's very, very cowardly. The unfortunate truth is the loudest people online are usually the ones that are the biggest cowards. Because in real life, they don't do anything. I have had, since I started doing YouTube, multiple people, not many, but there's been about 15, maybe 20, who have straight up threatened to fight me and never done anything about it. I've actually asked them, yo, man, email me and we'll set up a time and place. Nothing. And I'm only doing that because I know they're not going to do it. Because I know that they just talk a lot of shit and can never back it up. And I'll go into an actual story about that in a different video. But that's the unfortunate truth, is that people are cowards, but these cowards are actually under mind control. The internet is literally mind control. And again, some of you might not see it. Some of you might not see this. In fact, a big chunk of you might not see it. Or you'll You'll hear this video and you'll agree with me, but then you'll still get caught up in the system. The best thing you can do, and it used to be, don't watch the news. I used to always not watch the news because I don't want to be depressed and bummed out. I don't want to hear about murders and people getting blown up. I'm working on my business. I'm working on my education, my job, spending time with my loved ones. I don't want to hear about that. And sometimes I do want to hear about it. I don't want to be unplugged from everything, but it is healthier to set a boundary between yourself and the internet. The best decision I ever made was getting more into literature, reading or listening to audiobooks, and staying away from the toxicity. People aren't born toxic. They are made toxic, in my opinion, by other people, bullies. And nowadays, they're being made into toxic cowards because they can talk whatever they want to on the internet and not worry about consequences. When in reality, the best thing that they should do for themselves is disconnect, because it's not beneficial to them in any way. So there's my little speakdom. I hope you enjoyed it. Just think about it. Even if you don't agree, think about the fact that there is mind control going on. And I might go even deeper into this. There might be a day where I actually go really deep into the internet mind control, and not just that, but this whole like splitting us apart, making us hate each other over a difference of opinion. That's control, my friend. That is control. Take care. Talk to you soon.